This week in baseball plunges into the rough and tumble race in the American League East. The Yankees pull out a few heart stoppers. Earl Weaver pulls his Orioles out of a key game. Reviewing the league leaders, National League standouts, and American League standouts. A special flashback to some of the year's outstanding oddities and entities. All this and more coming up on This Week in Baseball. With just days to go in the season, one race remains, and it's a classic. New York, Baltimore, and Boston again battling for supremacy in the American League East. Standing room only crowds jammed Yankee Stadium for 3 pressure-packed games between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Rookie Mike Paxton started game number 1 for the Sox, and he looked like he was accustomed to these pressure cookers. Yankee starter Ron Guidry showed early signs of nervousness. Before he had settled down and gained his control, Boston scored 2 runs. But Guidry hung tough, and so did his team. Mickey Rivers struck the big blow that put New York in front. And there it goes. It's out of here. Mick the Quick had a mighty busy night. The Boston Power Company kept pushing him back to the fence. But potential homers in other parks merely became outs in the stadium. And Ron Guidry took care of the rest, allowing only 5 hits, striking out 8. That settled 1 game, but the pressure continued. Game 2, tension tuned to a fine pitch, alive with artistry on the diamond. Yankee killer Reggie Cleveland going for his 8th straight win over the Yankees. Inning after inning, the New Yorkers were silenced. Billy Martin was concerned. And whenever Yankee did hit the ball hard, Boston's defense responded. Carl Yastrzemski, how about that? Ed Figueroa matched zeros on the scoreboard with Reggie Cleveland, but with more difficulty. The jam-packed stadium was on edge as Boston loaded the bases in the top of the 5th. No one out, and Fred Lynn at bat, but watch. A home-to-first double play. Almost out of a jam, but there's still runners on 2nd and 3rd, and Carl Yastrzemski is coming to bat. He awaits the pitch. He drills it right back to the box. Figueroa stops it the hard way. Yaz is out, and the game remains scoreless. And sharp defense kept it that way. George Scott belts one to deep right, but now watch Reggie Jackson climb a wall. That stopped one rally, and later Reggie did it again. This time it's Bernie Carbo who's robbed. Man alive. The scoreless game finally came down to the bottom of the 9th. A battle of Reggies. Cleveland pitching to Jackson. Thurman Munson's on first after a leadoff single. Cleveland ready for the 3-2 pitch. So is Jackson. And there it goes. Deep to right center. And it's going, and it is gone. And with that dramatic game-winning homer, the Red Sox fall another game back in the standings. But Boston came right back in Game 3. Because of a shoulder strain, starter Mike Torres had to leave the game, and lefty Sparky Lyle was called on early. But too early this time. The Sox forgot about homers and chipped away for 6 hits in 1 inning. The last one, a 3-run triple by Denny Doyle. And that's all Senor Louis Tiant needed. He hypnotized the Yankee hitters with twists, twirls, and tantalizing curves. So after all the sound and fury, the race still continued. The Baltimore Orioles were flying high with 7 straight wins before crashing to earth in one of the season's most bizarre incidents. With his team trailing the Toronto Blue Jays 4-0 in the 5th inning, manager Earl Weaver insisted that the tarpaulin in the left field bullpen be removed, claiming it could injure a player. Umpire Marty Springstead said it was a league policy to leave it there during rain. Weaver refused to play unless the tarp was removed. Neither umpire nor manager would budge, and incredibly, the Orioles forfeited a very important game. But the Birds weren't about to forfeit their weekend series with Boston. Jim Palmer breezed through the first game, winning 6-1. After throwing the experienced Palmer at the Red Sox, the Orioles turned around and started rookie Dennis Martinez the next day. He continued his impressive pitching with a complete 11-2 victory. The young right-hander was really buzzing, and so were Baltimore bats, putting a flock of birds on the bases and then sending them round and round. Rookie Eddie Murray topped off the walloping with 4 hits and 5 runs batted in. But Boston came back the next game with a rookie of its own, designated hitter Ted Cox. In his first Major League game, he singled in the first inning, went on to go 4 for 4, helping the Red Sox to a 10-4 win. Congratulations, son. The New York Yankees also picked up a new designated hitter, Dave Kingman. In Detroit, Kingman and company really made the Yankees look like the Bronx Bombers of old. Just watch this one disappear. Paul Blair, filling in for the injured Mickey Rivers, won another game in the late innings in the Bronx Bomber style. And Reggie Jackson took care of 2 more. Jackson's 5 homers in 5 days gave him 30 for the year and 100 runs batted in. New York swept Detroit to widen its first-place margin. And for serving the big hand in those Yankee victories, the Gillette Special this week goes to Reggie Jackson. With the race still far from settled, the Yankees moved on to Fenway for 2 more games with Boston. The Red Sox were desperately scrapping to stay alive. Just watch. Carlton Fisk and Butch Hobson gave it all they've got. And believe it or not, Fisk caught the ball. The Boston catcher also caught the Yankee Pennant Express and slowed it down with his bat. This big 3-run homer over the Green Monster led the way to a 6-3 win, much to the delight of the fantastic Fenway fans. Reggie Cleveland avenged his earlier defeat and went all the way. Question is, who'll go all the way in the American League East? Who will wax? Who will wane? We may have to wait till the harvest moon in October to know the answer. Now, some outstanding performances in baseball's fantastic summer of '77. First, Minnesota's Rod Carew. What a year he's had, leading the majors in hits, runs scored, and batting average. He'll win his 6th batting title and could have the highest average in the majors since Ted Williams hit .388 back in 1957. Rod is also the first player to carry a .400 average into July since Williams did it 36 years ago. Over in the National League, Pittsburgh's Dave Parker's after his first batting title. Already he's scored 100 runs, has over 200 hits to go with his good power statistics. Speaking of power, Cincinnati's George Foster will lead the majors in both homers and RBIs. Boston's Jim Rice leads the American League in home runs and, like Foster, has a chance to become the first player since Stan Musial in 1948 to accumulate 400 total bases. New York's Greg Nettles and California's Bobby Bonds are also in that American League home run race. That's number 35 for Nettles. And if you're wondering why they call this the year of the lively ball, just consider this. More homers have been hit this season than any other in history. Minnesota's Larry Heisel is having his best home run season, and he leads both Bobby Bonds and Jim Rice in the RBI race. Should Larry lead the league in runs batted in this year, it would be his first title. Kansas City's Fred Patek leads the American League in stolen bases, and it looks like another season of 50 or more for the Major League's smallest player. Frank Taveras of the Pirates leads the National League in stolen bases, 58 last year. This year could hit the 70s. Despite the lively ball, certain pitchers have also been outstanding in 1977. Philadelphia's Steve Carlton is one of those, the best at picking men off base and winning ball games. Carlton was the first 20-game winner this season, leads the majors in victories. The veteran left-hander was especially tough during the Phillies' surge to the top of the National League East. The top winner in the American League is California's Nolan Ryan, the 5th year in which the famed Ryan Express has struck out over 300 batters. No one else has done this. Not even Sandy Koufax or Bob Feller. We know about your fastball, Nolan. Now show us your curve. Attaboy. Nolan keeps on rolling. The Cubs' Rick Reuschel was quite a surprise this season. He became a 20-game winner for the first time and was twice selected National League Pitcher of the Month. It's no surprise that Cincinnati's Tom Seaver is aiming for 20 wins. This week he picked up his 200th career victory and has a chance to break a Major League record with 10 seasons of over 200 strikeouts. When discussing pitchers, let's not forget the men who rescue those starting hurlers day after day. This has surely been the year of the reliever, featuring a remarkable number of bullpenners who could all compete for Cy Young honors. Boston's Bill Campbell has been indispensable. He's won 12 games, saved 27 more. Without Campbell, the Red Sox wouldn't be close to a pennant race. New York's Sparky Lyle has been a lifesaver, too. The Yankee ace has won 12, saved 24, and leads the American League in earned run average. Minnesota's Tom Johnson tops all relief specialists in the win column with 16, and he has a chance to tie the Major League record of 18 victories set by Pittsburgh's Roy Face some 2 decades ago. In the National League, Bruce Sutter kept the Cubs in the race until an injury forced him out of action. Even with that injury, he's compiled the remarkable total of 28 saves. San Diego's Raleigh Fingers leads all relievers with 33 saves, and this year is no fluke. Since 1971, the Padre right-hander has saved 155 games. The pitcher with the Major League's best ERA is Pittsburgh's Rich Gossage. He's averaging better than 1 strikeout per inning. Even more amazing is the fact that he's allowed fewer than 6 hits per 9 innings of work, close to a major league record. For the Goose, it's been quite a comeback season, just as it has been for White Sox third baseman Eric Soderholm, who missed all of '76, and many thought he wouldn't play again. The Sox thought otherwise, signed him as an unheralded free agent, and Soderholm has responded with a big year, including 23 home runs. The most remarkable of all comebacks has to be Willie McCovey, a giant resurrection at the age of 39. It seemed almost certain that the slugging first baseman had passed his time. But what a time he's had this summer, with 26 home runs and over 80 runs batted in. '77 is also a record-breaking year. Pete Rose took care of one earlier this season with this base hit against the Cardinals, which gave him the most lifetime hits by a switch hitter. Now Pete's after something bigger. He's closing in on his 9th 200-hit season and threatens to tie Ty Cobb's career mark. Of course, Ty Cobb had an even bigger record broken last month when Lou Brock stole base number 893. Go, Lou! And that has to rate as the #1 achievement of the year on the playing field. And off the field, a special salute to the fans, who set a record of their own. Over 37 million filled the parks, more than any year in the history of baseball. How about that? A record that speaks for itself in the summer of '77. A season for all seasons. Yes, it's been a swinging year in baseball. But when you're near the end of the season, fans start thinking about baseball's special awards. And we'd like to look back and present a few of our own for events that may not have gotten all the headlines. For example, Lou Brock made history on the bases, but for this, we award him the best dance, when you haven't got a chance. Stay with him, Lou. Best way to pitch to the league's leading hitter goes to Pedro Bourbon. Super blooper. Most spectacular swing to Lou Piniella. Wildest way to be knocked out of the box. Odell Jones. Odell wins another citation. This one for just about the silliest thing we've ever seen. He's getting ready to put everything he's got on this pitch. Just watch him. How about that? And now, the best swim stroke in the outfield. It goes to Larry Heisel. And Carl Yastrzemski takes honors as the player least attached to his glove. And the player with the best cause to cry foul, Dan Dreesen. And now, presenting the award to the bald girl most anxious to play the game. Sorry, ma'am, only 9 men to a team. Next, the best disappearing act by a baseball. Where in the world is it? Well, we'll show you. The scoreboard is stuck with it. Ouch! Manager Earl Weaver easily wins the award for the best rejection of an ejection. You tell 'em, Earl. Attaboy. And finally, the award for most confusion and profusion, Giants and Pirates, where the second baseman finally makes the relay from the fence. Everyone misses it, allowing the hitter to come all the way home, where the umpire calls him out, although the catcher really dropped the ball, which he picks up as if he had it all the time. Meanwhile, another umpire enters, says the man is safe, much to the disbelief of the Pirates, who should never have allowed the man to get to first in the first place. Is that clear, everyone? Well, if not, we've had a very clear choice for the best defensive play we've seen this year. It belongs to Boston's Fred Lynn, and if you missed it, watch it now. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is baseball 1977, a very good year. Until next season rolls around, this is Mel Allen saying, so long, everybody.